Hello there. So, what is ADHD and how does it affect you and those around you? Right after a word from our sponsor. I'm playing, we don't have sponsors here. So, ADHD it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. And what it is it's a condition that includes things like attention difficulties, hyperactiveness, impulsiveness, things of that nature. And basically, what that means is, as far as the attention deficit being attention difficulties, things like that, think of it like this. Someone who does not have attention or ADHD, their attention span is like you've got a big 50, 60 inch TV screen and a little 20 inch TV screen, okay? So someone without ADHD, their attention span is like watching TV on that big 50, 60 inch TV. I mean, it's like, massive. They've got such a wide attention span. No problems on that. But if you're someone that does have ADHD, your attention span would be like watching TV on that little 20 inch TV. Very big difference there. It's so your attention is so small and everything, and just so hard to pay attention to things because you've got so much going through your head that you may be thinking of 20, 30 things all at the same time, but not at once. You've got Skylanders on your mind, and then you've got racing on your mind, then you've got food on your mind, then you've got some other kind of toy on your mind, all these different things going through your mind. But you can't focus on and pay attention to playing Skylanders video games while trying to, say, eat McDonald's. It just, your brain and the chemical makeup won't allow it. You just have such a hard time paying attention to be able to do that. So it's like you have to be focused on that one thing. The medicines can help with that. It can be treated. But unfortunately, it's not something that can really be cured. It does require medical diagnosis. So, no, that doesn't mean labs and all that kind of thing. You don't have to do lab tests and all that where they draw your blood and all that. No, that's not what I'm meaning. But it does require medical diagnosis. It's something that it often begins with childhood and early ages, as early as 3 years old can be affected. But the age groups that it affects the most are as early as 6 years old all the way up to 40. That wide age group are the ones that are typically affected the most, mostly in males, not females. Though it's not unheard of for females to have ADHD, it's just more common amongst the males out there. Of course, the symptoms that you would look for are, like I said, limited attention, being extremely hyperactive about things. You're constantly hyped up. You're constantly having to move. You can't sit perfectly still. Depending on the severity of it, I've seen where, excuse me, I've seen where one child cannot sit perfectly still without fidgeting, without moving a muscle, whether that's twirling your thumbs or it's looking around. You're constantly doing something. They can't sit perfectly still without doing anything at all for more than 20 seconds. 20 seconds tops, and they're having to twirl their thumbs, they're having to scratch their arm, they're having to do something. That's kind of how it affects someone with ADHD. There are different symptoms to look for. Things like aggression, fidgeting, like I was just mentioning, hyperactivity, a lack of restraint. Let's see here, what else is there? There's some others. Did I say excitability? I think so. Hyperactivity. Those are just a few behavioral things that you may experience. You've got other things like cognitive, mood, all like different little things like that. Difficulty focusing. Remember, I just mentioned that one when I was kind of talking about what it is and some different things you may experience. Short attention span, which, the 50 to 60 inch TV compared to the 20 inch TV, as far as the attention span that you have. And then you've got, boredom, excitement, just different mood swings going on there. So, just different things to look at there for the symptoms. Treatments, you've got medications, which personally, as far as medications go, yeah, you have your Ritalin, you have your Adderall, you have all these different medications that you can take, all these different prescribed medications like that. But the problem is with that, it's nothing more than speed. It is nothing more than methamphetamines. That's it. By and large, when you yourself are taking those different medications, or you're giving them to your child or a loved one, you're giving them methamphetamines. You're giving them speed. I, for one, don't do that. I won't do it. There are alternative medications out there. Swanson's, I believe it is a site you can go to that has all kinds of different homeopathic medications you can take that are all natural. You don't have the side effects of it. You're not giving yourself or loved ones methamphetamines when you do that. Much, much better alternative. Then you've got, therapy, so anger management, support groups, this, that, just different types of therapeutic methods you can go through. There are different kinds of specialists that you can go to for it, such as a psychiatrist. You could even use, if they specialize in it, your PCP or your primary care physician. But that's pretty much how it affects you, yourself, those different things. Affecting others, honestly, I don't know which is worse. Being affected by it firsthand, or being the loved ones or other people around that are experiencing it with you. Because if it's your loved one that has ADHD, when they're going through those aggression stages of it, they may just start beating you up, hitting you, kicking you, screaming at you, all these different things. They may just start crying because that's just one of those moods that they're going through. That's just one of those different things, and you have to understand that what is going on where in their minds, what they're feeling, because they can't always tell you. Because like I said, they just have so much going on in their minds that it's so difficult for them to express how they feel. And that's where that anger and that aggression comes from, is they don't know how to explain it when they're at a young age. It's so difficult for them to explain it and express how they feel. So they get mad, they get upset, they get frustrated because they don't understand how to express it. And they start hitting and screaming, and all these different emotions start coming out through it. And you just have to be patient, work with them, help them through it until they work themselves through that process and they start calming back down, and then they're back to their normal, wonderful, fun-loving selves, where they're just all ready to play and listen and everything, and they're not screaming at you, they're not hitting you, they're not all these different things. So it's difficult in that aspect for those around you, if you're not the one with ADHD, you're just around the individuals that are. But I hope that this 12, 13 minute, 14 minute sit down talk with you today helps those parents out there who are going through this, or even those kids that are going through this right now who have been diagnosed with ADHD. I hope it helps you to better understand the things that are going on, and helps you to have a better idea on how to handle those situations, and to understand perhaps why we're going through this. And maybe you haven't been diagnosed, but this tells you some symptoms where maybe you can think maybe that could be what it is, and you can try to get it diagnosed and find out if that is what's going on. But until next time, when we should be reading a book for you again, I will talk to you later, and just let me know what things you see, what symptoms you see that maybe I didn't mention, different medications that you could use, different methods. Write down in the comments below to let others who are going through this know what you have to say, to kind of help us all out. It's all about helping one another out here at the Story Den, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye. Until next time.